views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to Open, the show that opens up the Bronx and the world to you. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS and, of course, Open's Channel 67. We have a fantastic show lined up for you today. Coming up on today's show, we'll pick that up and we'll learn about a whole lot of things. Men are doing great things and giving back this winter season. And then plus we'll sit down with an award-winning writer and comic book creator to learn about his work, cultivating diversity in the arts. And then, in recognition of Diabetes Awareness Month, we'll hear from a dietitian with tips on cooking food and shopping and the overall health of it all. All right? And then my man Bobby C., I know he's going to be busy. He had a nice sports weekend. Bobby C. has the latest headlines in the world of sports. And then later on, singer and songwriter Monique Nikkole is in the house. And we'll get in the holiday spirit. She's got some great things. She sounds great. You'll get to hear it all right here on Open. So stay tuned. Guess what? PS340's in the house. Hey! We are open. Ready? 340's here, PS340. Welcome, everybody. I'm your host, Dr. Valvey, and you are watching Open, the live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. Stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Leading things off, our next guest is an award-winning writer and creator of the comic book, Is Nana, and Were Spider, the Were Spider. And some of the stuff is right here. And he joins us for a look at all of his wonderful work. We welcome Greg Anderson. We call him LSA Greg.
How you doing, man?
Greg, welcome. First time on the set?
Yeah, first time.
All right, way, it's the first for everything. And so what do we have here? You're putting together comic books.
Yeah, so I'm the writer and creator of Is Nana the Were Spider. It's based off of the stories of Anansi the Spider from West African and Caribbean folktales. My character is his son. It's essentially a father and son fantasy horror story of the two of them trying to stop these creatures from causing chaos, trying not to drive each other crazy at the same time, and implementing a lot of black mythology, folktales from Africa, Caribbean, and African American stories.
So you put a lot of twos together, good and bad, father and son.
Exactly,
things of that.
exactly, the whole
How'd you come up
duality
with the concept?
of it. Well, growing up, I was a huge Greek mythology fan. I still am a big Greek mythology fan. And as I got older, I started to get more interested in other mythologies out there, especially black mythology. And I noticed, even with some of my, a lot of black people, I would mention certain gods or even Anansi, and they would look at me like, who is that?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, but you know, Zeus and Hera and Thor. And so that was one of the things where education, it doesn't really teach you anything like that, you know, and you're required to learn Greek mythology. So pretty much the concept was, I feel like a lot of black mythology is dying, black stories and folktales. So that became the theme of this actual story. And my character is Nana, being Anansi, the god of stories' son. He is sort of like reclaiming, you know, our heritage of all our characters.
Yeah. Did you ever read The Power of Myth?
No, I haven't.
You got to pick that up.
All right, I'll remember that.
It's amazing. You get into it and find out about a lot of different things.
Cool.
So you got that concept and you got into mythology, but black mythology, you don't hear too much about it.
Yeah, you don't. And it's, I feel like you either have to find an educator who goes out of their ways to introduce you to it, or if you have a parent who grew up on it, especially, I know a lot of Caribbean parents grew up on a lot of folktale stories, you know, and they would pass it on to their children. And so that was one of my things of just trying to bring this back to life, you know, and not really spoon-feeding you all of it, but enough to keep your interest, enough for you to actually start doing your own research on, you know, a lot of these characters and stories.
So where do you want it to go?
Everywhere, you know. Right now, like, my main focus is just trying to get more of the books out, trying to get them into some schools, more libraries, and stuff like that. And we'll see where that takes me. Movie? Everyone has been asking me for a movie.
Watch out. They asking you about it already?
People have been asking me for movies, cartoon shows, video games, so we'll see where that goes. Yeah.
But you know the steps necessary?
I know a lot of people, a lot of networks, so yeah.
All right, so
Definitely.
we're happy to have you here first on BronxNet to, just let everybody know that this is coming.
Thank you, man. I
And to
appreciate
look
it.
forward to seeing some of this, maybe in your comic book stores. How do we,
Yeah, there's
where
a
do we find it?
couple. Well, right now it's on Amazon, or if you can get my information all through our social media, you can also contact me personally. It's at some comic shops, one in a couple in Brooklyn, Bulletproof Comics, Anyone Comics, West Village Comics. So there's a couple of spots in New York City, some spots in Philadelphia, and different states. I'm still trying to get more and more.
Did you follow Mr. Lee?
Oh, Stan Lee?
Yeah, Stan Lee.
Yeah. I feel like
He
everyone.
passed away at age 95. It was last week, right?
Yeah, it was. I think it was. Yeah, it was last
People were
week. Last
crying.
Monday.
We have a
Yeah.
DJ that came up to the radio station. He put a display of all the characters and everything, brought the comic books up. I've been following him for a long time.
Yeah, I even think a lot of, pretty much everyone has been influenced him in some way.
Yeah.
You know, even if some people haven't officially read a lot of his older stuff, but everyone grew up liking at least one of his characters in some way.
Yeah.
So I think everyone was in some type of deep mourning.
When
in
you
some way.
do something like this, it lives on forever. You know,
Yeah.
way past when we're gone, this will continue to go.
That becomes your legacy.
Yeah,
You know?
this
Exactly.
this is part of your legacy. So, are you working on a third one?
Well, Volume 2 literally just came out like a
That's
week or
brand
two
new,
ago.
brand new baby.
But
man.
I'm already pushing to a one-shot. I'm doing a Kickstarter for a next part that comes out. It should be this week, hopefully. Fingers crossed. You know.
Are they all connected in some way?
Yeah. So a lot of Volume 2 follows up directly from things that happen and set up in Volume 1. And given that, essentially, in the first volume, is Nana, in order for him to look for his father who's gone missing, he goes from his own dimension to our world. And in doing that, he breaks these barriers. And it brings all these different creatures from different universes into our world that start causing chaos. So that's sort of all the different plot lines are sort of going to be connected to, I guess, the problems that is Nana caused, but him trying to right, his errors and everything like that, while also acting as a coming of age, because he's also, a youth trying to figure out himself while also having to live up to the fact that his father is a god.
Wow. Yeah. And to sit down and come up with all these pathways of thinking and, and to lay it all out like that, how does this identify with what's happening in our society today or in our world today?
Well, I mean, I feel...
Or in our country today?
We're getting to the point where a lot of, I'd say even a lot of black people are just becoming more conscious about things. They're starting to become a bit more aware of, stuff as how we're being treated in the media, how we're being treated in reality, and also discovering our heritage, discovering who we are, trying to find our place, I guess, at the seat of the table, as the saying goes, or also just making our own table, instead of trying to seek out and beg, to be treated and seen as a human being. A lot of us are just, screw it, we'll just do it on our own. And that's essentially what made me want to do this. There's a lot of people who say, oh, why isn't this being done? Why am I not seeing this type of representation? Just do it yourself. There's all the tools out there, and essentially that's essentially what I'm doing with the story too.
That's good. Give a big round of applause. PS340. Go like this. You got a lot of children watching you too, So you want to get this into the schools?
Yeah. Definitely.
Have you been into any of the schools yet?
Yeah, I've been a couple of schools. Some have already ordered a couple of copies. And I've been seeing a lot of pictures, of kids reading the book and teachers, sharing it with them. So it's been...
You have a website showing some of that?
Right now, I currently just have a Facebook of that. Just type in the name is Nana the Werespider on Facebook. It'll pop up. Has all the updates, of everything that's going on with it.
Put those pictures on there with the kids reading the books and all that stuff. Yeah, that's touching. And kids love to read, and I think that'd be a wonderful way to go.
Thank you.
Well, good luck to you.
Thanks, man.
So we'll go to the Facebook page.
You can go to the Facebook page and just like it, or you can find me on Instagram, Greg Day, or Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to share updates on the book and so on.
And that's going to have also the information on your book signing.
Yeah, yeah.
Where's that going to be?
That's going to be in Bulletproof Comics in Brooklyn. That's in Nostrand, around Flatbush by Brooklyn College.
There you go. You let people know.
So that will be December 7th.
Well, we're going to give you a copy of this so that you can blast it out all over the place.
Cool.
So
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
Definitely, man.
December 6th, I'll be over at the Terrace on the Park. We have the Make the Grade Foundation Awards dinner. You know, if you want to come, just let Helen know.
That sounds cool. All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot,
Where can
man.
we get in touch with you again? Facebook is?
Facebook, you can get Is Nana the Word Spider. Through Twitter, Greg and Elysee. And on Instagram, Greg Day, D-A-E.
Elysee, Greg. Give him a big round of applause, everybody. Thank you, Greg. Thank you. All right. Creator Is Nana and the Were Spider.
Is Nana the Word Spider.
There you go. Thank you so much. We'll take a quick break right here. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Open next. PS 340. Yeah. There they go. That's our wonderful school, PS 340, and we'll get a chance to talk to them later on, hopefully on or off the mic. I like to talk to youngsters and visit schools throughout the tri-state area, trying to encourage students to stay in school and be on time. So we thank you guys for joining us this morning. Welcome back, everybody. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. I'm your host, and on November the 20th, the Bronx chapter of the 500 Men Making a Difference will hold a sock and glove giveaway, a rock'em sock'em glove giveaway. And joining us with all the details and all the wonderful work that they're doing in our community, we have the founder and chair, Wayne Devonish, and of course, the president of the Bronx chapter, Jamal Thomas. We welcome you guys to the show.
Welcome. Thank you so much for
having
us.
So much about the wonderful work that you guys are doing, and you continue to do so, and we thank you for your service.
We're happy to be here.
So tell us more. For people that don't know, tell us about the 500 Men Making a Difference.
Sure, my pleasure to do so. 500 Men Making a Difference, we're basically a volunteer men's group, so we're just bringing together positive men that are mainly professionals and having them do community service on a collective level. So we've had the good pleasure of connecting with folks in all the 5 boroughs in Long Island, even in Philadelphia and in Jersey. And we've got this exceptional gentleman that we just met a year ago, and he's leading our charge out in the Bronx, and he's going to tell us about our first, well, maybe third initiative that's going on in the Bronx, and it's really amazing.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I guess that was my cue. Huh?
That's
Yeah,
Well,
that's your cue.
Good morning. My name is Jamal Thomas. I'm part of leadership from the Bronx 500 Men Making a Difference chapter. And we, as the season changed, we wanted to get the elders. We wanted to do something for the elders. They have their hands and feet have taken care of us for many years. So I just thought that was very important that we give back.
Yeah.
So we we have something at the Sonia Sotomayor Center in the Bronx. That's on 1000 Rosedale Avenue.
Oh, that's across from CeeLo's over there. Big
that
up
is-
to CeeLo.
Yes, absolutely. And you know, we just thought it was a wonderful thing as
Of
the
course, White
season.
Castle's around the corner, but
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
That's in that area.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know exactly.
You know,
what
right
you're
up the
talking
block. So, you know, we just thought that it would be a nice initiative as the season changed and they're moving about because we want our elders to be healthy and moving about.
Yeah.
So, and in doing so, we need their hands and their feet to be warm. So we just thought it was a great idea, you know.
So you're going to do something in that area. What's the date on that?
It's actually tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow.
Woo. Is Andy King involved?
No,
Andy King?
we haven't reached
Any
out
of-
to, you know, we grassrooted it from the 500 men, you know, making a difference, and we
Yeah.
reached out on social media for donations. And
So you're going to be
things of that sort.
in the middle of the hood, or is it going to be indoors?
It's going to be
Right from the
indoors,
center.
and it's
Right
right.
from the center.
It's in the centers where the seniors meet. Their days are Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
So
and
we're
of course, well, they cook for the seniors and everything
absolutely,
down there.
yeah. So they're, you know, we're coming in during their time, and we're just going to give them a nice gesture.
I was going to suggest something, you know, have CeeLo's bring some food over, but I know if you're dealing with the C's, they got
Yeah, they already got it.
their own
Right.
chefs and everything
Absolutely.
back
They
there.
already got it.
Absolutely,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely. So it's just a small gesture of our appreciation.
How'd
of,
you come up with that idea?
You know, me and my mother used to volunteer during the holiday time. I'm from the Bronx, and you know, I'm just carrying on her tradition. And then, you know, I joined the wonderful organization of 500 Men, and they fit the platform as well.
Yeah.
And we just passing the torch and keeping it lit.
And you know, Wayne, there's a young lady that works with you. She gets the word out, man. Young lady named Sharon.
Yeah. Amazing. She's getting us on, you know, shows like this and getting us really good exposure, and it's really allowing us to really expose our brand to some really good people and to get, you know, more recruits. Cause
She takes the lead.
Yeah,
Sharon.
Absolutely.
yeah. 500 Men has some quality women
Yes.
that are holding us down, like, in front of us, making things
Well, they
happen.
always say behind
Yeah.
every good man or group of 500 men, there's 500 women that will,
Yeah,
that will help out.
definitely.
That's good. So what do you guys do next? You do things all year round.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
one thing. And we're going to try to see if we can stop by that tomorrow. I know we got this turkey run. We're going to be all over the place. Starting off with the Steve Harvey turkey giveaway. In the morning, we'll be over at the Reverend Boyd's Church, 215th Street and Jamaica Avenue.
Excellent,
Greater
excellent.
Bethel Ministries Church. And then, you know, we're going to try to break away. I'll probably try to come to the Bronx. If I do, what time do you start?
12.
12. If I could start that out with you, and then I'll meet up with Andy King because he has something that he's doing over here. So we'll be touring all around, but we'll talk about that after
Excellent,
we get off.
excellent.
So that's great. So the things that you guys do all year is phenomenal.
Yeah, we try to stay busy. I mean, one of our mottos is we're the busiest volunteer organization on earth. I mean, in a given week, we're doing about at least 3 projects, and you know, during the year, we have at least about a good 10 big ones. So,
All right.
yeah,
So you have to keep in touch with us so we can let everybody know.
definitely.
Sharon, you on it? You on? Sharon, she's got it covered.
Yeah.
All right. So, how did you get into volunteerism?
Oh, basically, all my life, learning from my parents. You know, they raised us in a certain way. You know, you go to church, you give back, you support your community, you support organizations, and you know, it just blossomed into, you know, starting an organization where focus on having men do it collectively, because in the community scene, you really see the women taking charge and on the leadership and volunteering, and the men, they kind of do more of a maverick sort of thing. More, you know, single-handedly they want to do something, but, you know, that's not really getting much done. So definitely wanted to pull positive men together and get that real oomph in what we're doing.
Yeah. And you started this in 2010.
Exactly,
Remember when you
yes.
guys first started?
Yes.
But How did it come to you? I'm always curious to find out how things come to certain. I know how my Make the Great Foundation came to me. I was in a shower.
Okay.
And all these things started coming. I was like, oh.
Wow.
I ran out of the shower, scuffled across the floor to write it down. I still have that wet piece of paper. It looks like it was wet and smeared ink and all
Excellent.
that stuff. How did yours come to you?
Oh, from an epic failure. So I was trying to do my maverick thing. I wanted to start this big center in Brooklyn that would, so people can hold their banquets and hold their non-for-profit events in. So we hired Stephanie Mills, had an amazing concert. It was terrific, but all we really did was pay Stephanie Mills, and I almost lost my job. So I said, you know, why am I busting my head? Everybody I know is positive. Why don't I just work with some brothers, you know?
Yeah. I'm laughing because. Anyway, it's a whole
You
nother
can relate.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how it happens. But you know,
Yeah.
you mentioned something, epic failure. See, people think that, you know, when they fail, that's it.
Right,
I'm just gonna fold things up. I'm not even gonna do anything else after that.
right.
But
right.
quitters never win,
Never.
and winners never quit. So you gotta keep on going.
Exactly.
So we fall down, but we get up. And then you got up and said, hey,
Yeah.
look at here. And how did the 500 men making a difference come to you?
Well, really, just from that failure, I wanted to work with men.
Name and everything came.
Yeah. I just wanted to work with men. I sent out an email. A bunch of us met in a warehouse, an empty warehouse, dust, dirt, and all of that. And I just said, look, I think we all want to make
get
things
right down
happen.
dirty and
yeah,
grimy.
yeah,
Make it all
we want
happen.
to make things happen. Let's do that. And a lot of brothers just got on board. I mean, we met this brother at Circle of Sisters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
Jacob Javits Convention
absolutely.
Center, Circle
Yeah.
of Sisters.
And actually, I was
WBLS,
looking
WLIB,
forward-
Hot 97.
And I was actually looking forward to be part of an organization, to serve. You know, my mother passed 3 years ago, and in between mourning and taking a little hiatus to get over that, to get back on the track of service.
Yeah.
You know, I found this organization out of my peripheral
Well,
vision.
mom was involved because you
Oh,
was at the
absolutely.
Circle of Sisters, and your mom's a sister, and it came back.
Absolutely.
Don't let me get started.
Absolutely.
Let's leave it right there. But you know how it works.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We're sorry for your mom's passing and everything, but she's right there with you
Absolutely.
every step of the way.
Absolutely. I make her proud every time I
know you.
don
There
these
you go.
clothes and this suit and give back, with nothing in return, because service is not about a reward or an agenda or self.
Yeah.
It's about really giving back to the community.
Mom
And
speaking
that's-
through you.
yeah,
Go ahead.
Oh, absolutely.
Keep going.
Absolutely. So, I make her proud every time that I'm able to do something for someone else. And we just want to continue the tradition with 500 men in the Bronx.
There you go.
And I take the leadership very serious, and we're just here to partner and, grow it and expand it and, make a
Mom's
difference.
proud of you. We're proud of you.
Make a
we're
difference
proud
in the
of
community.
you guys, your organization.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you taking time to have us on here.
And thank
Really
you for your
appreciate the platform.
service. And I'm sure you're in good hands with Sharon Lee.
Oh yeah.
So tomorrow
Yeah.
at
At
12 o'clock,
we will be
Sotomayor,
at the Sonia Sotomayor Center in
Uh-huh.
the Bronx. That's 1000 Rosedale Avenue in the Bronx. We will be unexpectedly, the seniors don't know, we will be coming
They
in.
know now. They watch us.
We will be coming in and making a small gesture of providing them with socks and gloves so they could be warm during the
And
season.
we might even extend it and go all year round, all throughout the winter.
Hey, let's talk about it.
Let's
I'm-
make that
I'm
happen.
here.
All right?
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
So, Models, any of you guys want to jump on board? Let's go. We need some socks and gloves. Let's go.
Absolutely.
What's the
Target,
website?
Walmart,
Target, Walmart. Come on board. We're going to give out socks and gloves all winter long, keep people warm, make people happy, put that smile, or keep that smile on their faces.
Excellent.
You have a website we can go to?
Yeah. www.500menmakingadiffерence.com. And we also have a phone number, 917-297-2365.
And we also have social media platforms, Instagram, 500 Men, Facebook, 500 Men Making a Difference, Twitter, 500 Men.
Proud of you, son.
Yeah, thank you.
Or like Chuck Chilla says, Sons, S-O-N-Z.
Nice.
Give them a big round of applause, everybody. Wayne Devonish, founder and chair of 500 Black Men, 500 men,
men.
making a difference. And I'm sure people have said that before.
All the time,
Jamal
all the
Thomas,
time.
president of the Bronx chapter, 500 Men Making a Difference. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for stopping by.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you,
Thank
Sharon. All right, we have to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Open Next. And welcome back. PS 340, give me your big round of applause. You're a part of this show. Thank you so much. Welcome back. You know, November is Diabetes Awareness Month. We want everybody to know. Our next guest joins us with the statistics and tips on cooking, shopping, and more. We welcome Angela Vita to the show. She's a retail dietitian for ShopRite. And we welcome you, and you're always welcome to come back and share more on healthy eating and healthy living and how to live with diabetes and how to live without diabetes.
Thank you.
You have all of that information.
I do,
Yeah.
and I could be here all day.
I know you can, I know. I'm sure you're a wealth of information. But tell us about the statistics first. I know and we'll talk about all the wonderful food that you have on this table.
Sure. Well, unfortunately, according to the American Diabetes Association, in 2015, about 30 million Americans living with diabetes, which is a huge number.
Yeah, and a lot of them are not born with it, type 1 diabetes. They develop it, type 2 diabetes.
Right. So type 2 can be preventable, though can be caused by genetics and being overweight or obese as well. So there's a lot of different factors.
Yeah, and I always say, people are wringing out that sponge here, getting all that insulin out by the foods that they're eating.
Right. Exactly. So
how do we prevent that?
how do we prevent that? Definitely weight management, of course. When we tend to overeat, our pancreas secretes more insulin to help bring those blood sugars down. And over time, the pancreas might not be able to excrete as much, so our blood sugars might stay high for a while. And over time, it can be insufficient.
Yeah. And due to the foods that we eat, you're like draining it out, so it can't produce. And it can if you change your diet, maybe.
Of course, of course. So, there's always a question, what is a carb? How does it affect my blood sugar? There's two different types. We have our sugars and we have our starches. So we have our sugars, which are coming from, sugar-sweetened beverages, refined grains, such as, white bread, white rice. Those are foods that are high in the glycemic index. And when I'm talking about the glycemic index, those are our foods that, tend to raise our blood sugar a bit higher than others.
And that's what I think is one of the major problems with type 2 diabetes. The foods that are high on the glycemic scale, 70 and above is going to drain. It's like that sponge that you have in your pancreatic area that drains the insulin out of your sponge, I call it.
Right.
So then you need to take a shot or change your diet.
Exactly. So what, carbohydrates can we eat and how do we portion them out appropriately? Definitely our whole grains, for sure. So we have, some whole wheat bread, brown rice, farro, quinoa. They're very rich in fiber. And our foods that are rich in fiber are not going to bring our blood sugar levels up that much. And what's great about fiber is foods that are rich in it, it'll keep you full for longer and slow down digestion. There
you go. And so, what about this? I think I had some of this last night.
Yeah, quinoa. Quinoa is a great source of fiber and protein. It's quite easy to make. A lot of people are discouraged about it. It's pretty simple, just as easy as cooking rice. So you would do about 1 cup liquid. You can use low sodium chicken or vegetable broth to give it some good flavor. And you let it boil and you just cover it, simmer it. It takes about 15-20 minutes.
I like it.
Yeah. Farro, very similar. I grew up eating farro. I'm Italian. It's a great, it's a great grain that you can actually add to soups, or you can even make it as a cold farro salad. So similar cooking process as well.
All right. And is this the brown rice?
Yes, and then we have our brown rice. So a lot of people aren't the biggest fan of brown rice because they're so used to growing up and eating white rice. So it does take a little bit longer to cook. But if you're looking to eat more whole grains, but you're not ready to sacrifice your white rice, you can cook half and half. Or there's even something called cauliflower rice, where they're actually taking cauliflower and shredding it to resemble rice. And that's a great way to, make a nice healthy swap.
What about the tofu? People are simulating meats, chicken and beef with tofu.
So people forget that there's other protein sources besides meat. We also have eggs, we have beans or legumes. And tofu is a great source of protein. So it's fun to play around with it. It takes on the flavor of whatever you're seasoning it with. So it's important to just, season it well.
How did you get involved in this? I mean, you're a dietitian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And you work with the company that you work with right now.
So I got into
ShopRite.
nutrition at quite a young age. You know, as I mentioned before, I'm Italian, so I grew up in a really big Italian family where food was always such a huge focus and pastime. So, you know, I always wondered, you know, my grandma had her own garden and she would make, you know, homemade pasta from scratch, you
Yeah.
know, make her own bread. And I kind of brought me back to the basics of like the slow food movement, you know. Focusing on real foods, you know, shopping around the perimeter of the grocery store and picking up items, you know, to make instead of buying, you know, a pre-made option.
Yeah. And you know, you have to be careful being Italian. You can sit down at a table and eat all day. It's all
Absolutely.
day. It could be an event.
Oh yeah, that'll be me on Thanksgiving. We actually start our main course with pasta before the turkey and the stuffing and the potatoes. So I got to
know.
watch myself too.
I know, because my mom is from Naples, Napolitan. You know, so when we go out to that side of the family's house,
Right.
they just spread and you eat all day.
All day.
Non-stop. You know, just keep bringing it. And you roll yourself, let's see, you roll yourself out of the chair.
Absolutely.
And you try to make it to the couch. And you put your feet up and you lay back like a boxer on one of those stools. You got to put your legs out like that and let all the food go down to your toes. I don't want to get it, but you know what I'm talking
But
about.
actually, yeah.
Yeah. So this is great. All right, so what's some of the other stuff that we have here?
Okay, so portion control is really
Portion
important,
control.
especially when managing diabetes. So I kind of have a little image here of how, you know, the plate should look.
Yeah.
What I like to recommend is filling half the plate with non-starchy vegetables. What are non-starchy vegetables? We have peas and mushrooms, also, you know, our greens, broccoli, cauliflower, etc. And then here we have a tinier portion of grains. So I mixed some brown rice and some quinoa on the side of the plate. And then I have a nice little protein source. I picked some grilled chicken breast. And sometimes when I show this, you know, to my customers, they're like, oh, usually this is the part with rice or
Yeah.
pasta or our grains. So the idea is kind of to just refocus our plate for breakfast, lunch, and dinner as best as we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Refocus for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that matters where you place the food.
Yeah, exactly.
But what if somebody gets it and they just... But I see the chicken has no skin on it.
Yeah,
So-
you can have a little bit of skin. You know, it's kind of just everything in moderation. But chicken breast is a better source because it has less saturated fat.
Okay. What else do you have over there?
I have these delicious, perfectly portion-controlled pecan pie bites.
Oh.
And the kicker is there's actually no added sugar in these
No
pecan
added
pie bites.
sugar?
The sweetness is coming from dates, which is a great source of natural sweetness. They're just dried, and you just soak them for a little bit, and then put them in a blender. I mixed it with some chopped pecans for a nice, you know, added protein and crunch.
Yeah.
And I added some nice spices, you know, cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, you know, because it's important to use sweet-tasting spices to make our baked goods taste sweeter, but they might not necessarily be as sweet.
And that's important. So the sugar comes from the dates?
Yeah, the sugar comes from the dates. And then I have these little phyllo dough
okay.
cups.
Yeah.
So the serving size for these is about 2. But they keep you nice and full because of the fiber from the dates and the protein from the pecans.
And you can find this in ShopRite.
You can find all the ingredients in ShopRite, yeah. And that took me about 15 minutes to make.
Look
So
at
it's a
that.
really simple, quick, diabetic-friendly
Can
dessert.
we eat one?
Of course you can eat one.
We could eat the props?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, you got props.
And then when talking about, you know, beverages, you know, when you drink too many sugar-sweetened beverages, it can have an impact on our blood sugar. So I made a nice little spritzer here using our ShopRite's orange seltzer, which is calorie-free and sugar-free. And I just added a splash of juice, and I added some fresh whole cranberries and a nice little rosemary stem to give it, like, you know,
Oh,
a
that's
little,
cute. I'm sure it
little
tastes good,
decoration,
too.
especially for the holidays.
Now let me
so.
see. Can I taste it?
Yeah, you could taste it.
It's good too.
Yeah, great way to add flavor to
Yes.
to drinks without adding extra calories and sugar.
What about this? Can you join me?
Of course.
Do you eat the whole thing or just like the old yodel?
Take a bite. Nice and sweet, right?
Very good. Now you have to wrap us up because I took the whole bite. Give a big round of applause, everybody. Angela Vita.
from ShopRite, and we can meet you over at
1994 Bruckner Boulevard. I'm sorry, I'm chewing. You can visit me at the store. I offer free nutrition services, one-on-one consultations, classes. I know. And I also have a free diabetes class coming up on Thursday, November 29th at 6 p.m.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank
Give her
you.
another big round of applause. We have to take a quick break, but we'll be right back. My man Bobby C. Bobby, you should try this right after you finish. Bobby C up next with the Sports Roundup on Open.
This is Bobby C. reporting from MetLife Stadium, where Odell Beckham Jr. and the New York Football Giants took one step further towards running the table. OBJ thinks the Giants can win out. He was spectacular in a victory against the Niners on Monday Night Football. The Giants went back-to-back as he has another great game, this time against Tampa.
I just know that we're playing better, and I just love to see these guys in here after the game with smiles on their faces, and we just put it all together. So it's always a lot more fun when you win.
If it wasn't OBJ, it was Saquon Barkley on the ground. Barkley, 142 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns.
We're executing. We're finishing games, we're finishing drives, and that's what we weren't doing in the first half of the season. We're in almost every single game that we played, but we weren't executing. Coach put up a highlight reel of the plays that we just missed, and that's how close we were, and that's how close we know we are. And these last 2 games, we're able to do the opposite of that.
The rookie running back also added a score in the air. And don't forget second-year tight end Evan Engram, who added 66 yards receiving. Just talk about the offense's performance today and how good this team is feeling right now after another big win.
We played lights out today. We started fast. We got our playmakers the ball, and we did an amazing job blocking up front. The O-line had control of the game, and had control of the line of scrimmage the entire game. Tight ends, we had our blocking packages in. Everybody was doing their job. And so when we start fast and do that and play complementary football, we score a lot of points, and that happened today.
It took 700 days for the Giants to post back-to-back wins. A monster afternoon for rookie running back Saquon Barkley helped open the passing game for a near-perfect Eli Manning. It was a career day for Barkley. More on the running game in the C list. It was great to see Big Blue get that dub. Now the road gets a little harder for Manning and the Giants, who somehow remain alive in the playoff picture in the crowded NFC East. Dallas won on Sunday and has a chance to take control of the division, but the 3-7 Giants can make things interesting with a victory in Philadelphia next Sunday. The 3-7 Jets, meanwhile, will have their hands full with 7-3 New England Sunday at MetLife Stadium. That game kicks off at 1 p.m., and our BronxNet cameras, of course, will be in the building. Monday Night Football features two 9-1 teams. Kansas City and the LA Rams square off tonight. That game kicks at 8:15. While that matchup certainly boasts two legit Super Bowl contenders, don't overlook those New Orleans Saints, which I praised in this space several weeks back. Alvin Kamara's comments to Bleacher Report over the summer when he said the Saints would have to, could beat the out of the Philadelphia Eagles had they met in the playoffs last season were revisited again this past weekend. Kamara's comments don't look so crazy now. New Orleans treated the Eagles like an FCS non-conference opponent. The Saints are on an absolute roll, and they pummeled Philadelphia 48-7. The 41-point loss is the largest ever by a defending Super Bowl champion. The Eagles lost 3 games all last season by a combined 27 points. Not sure how this will play into next weekend's matchup with the Giants. Could be a positive or a negative. The Browns had a bye week this week, but still made headlines. They were rumored to have interest in interviewing perhaps the most unconventional head coaching candidate ever. Browns general manager John Dorsey said last week that he was open to hiring a woman as Cleveland's next head coach, and one prominent name is on the top of the team's wish list. The Browns would like to interview former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice for the job, a league source told ESPN. If the Browns follow through on it, Rice would become the first woman to interview for an NFL head coaching job. Note, I say unconventional because she's an American political scientist and diplomat, not a woman. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. LeBron James scored 51 points Sunday in the Los Angeles Lakers' 113-97 win over the Miami Heat, marking James's first victory in Miami since leaving the Heat franchise in 2014. He also became just the 5th player in league history to score 50-plus points with 3 different franchises. Keeping it on the NBA hardwood, the New York Knicks fell to Orlando 131-117 despite 32 points from Tim Hardaway Jr. In NHL action, the Islanders fell to the Dallas Stars 6-2. That's their first home loss of the regular season. The New Jersey Devils got tripped up by the Carolina Hurricanes 2-1. The Rangers will skate tonight in Dallas. Puck drops at 7. In college hoops, freshman Jalen Cobb scored a career-high 16 points, and his layup beat the buzzer to send Fordham to a 70-69 victory over Columbia Sunday in the Johnny Bach Classic in the Bronx. Mike Smith hit 2 free throws with 13 seconds left to give the Lions a 69-65 lead, but a 3-pointer with 8 seconds left pulled the Rams within a point and set the stage for Cobb's game winner. A last-second steal gave Cobb that chance to be the hero. Nick Honor paced Fordham with 17 points and 5 assists. They are 4-1 to start the season. From NASCAR, Joey Logano is a Cup Series champion. Logano took the lead from Martin Truex Jr. with 12 laps to go. Logano sailed his car around Truex and drove away by over a second in just 4 laps. He kept the cushion for the rest of the race and easily cruised to that win Sunday at Homestead to become the 2018 Cup Series champion. The 28-year-old Logano had raced for 2 previous titles in NASCAR's final race winner-take-all format. He hadn't won it either time. He had his best shot in 2016, but was caught up in a late restart with Carl Edwards and Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson, of course, ended up winning the title. Now, the title is all Logano's. Notre Dame defeated Syracuse 36-3 in the Shamrock Series at Yankee Stadium. It did not live up to the top college football game of the weekend. Fordham also held on to win its season finale at Bucknell, while Ohio clipped Maryland 52-51 in overtime. I would say that shootout game was the best of the weekend, in my opinion. Ohio State looked good. Michigan will face Ohio State this Saturday in their continued rivalry. The Heisman conversation is starting to heat up. Only a few weeks away from the announcement, and I don't think there's a clear-cut winner at the moment. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for the key to the Giants' win on Sunday. Say what you want about teams that win the Super Bowl. I realize quarterbacks are the toast of the NFL, but we are seeing great teams lean on their running backs in tonight's Monday Night Football game. the showdown, of course. For example, you'll see the high-powered Rams feature Todd Gurley, an MVP candidate, while the Kansas City Chiefs showcase Kareem Hunt in the backfield. Dallas doesn't win on Sunday without Zeke Elliott. In fact, the Cowboys looked dead 2 weeks ago. Zeke has breathed new life into their offense by shouldering the load. The same could be said for Saquon Barkley. That was a picture of him you just saw. It has finally come full circle for the rookie running back in New York, finishing with 142 rushing yards on 27 carries. Barkley was leaned on heavily in Sunday's 38-35 victory over the Tampa Bay Bucks. An explosive outing, a career day like this isn't out of the ordinary for Barkley. However, this time he proved his ability to be between the tackles where the Giants needed him most on Sunday. In the first half of the year, we witnessed Barkley elect to bounce runs outside for losses when he was given a hole for a 3 to 4 yard gain. This frustrated everyone, including Saquon. Sunday, Barkley chose to put his head down and trust the lanes that were given to him. If Barkley runs like this, the Giants offense could score 30-plus points more often. But Manning has shown with time in the passing game that he can make plays downfield. Maybe OBJ isn't drinking the Kool-Aid after all. Can the Giants win out? Hit me up at The Voice, Bobby C, and share your thoughts on social media. That's your look at sports. I'm Bobby C.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
And PS340 is here. You guys could clap right now. Yeah. Welcome back. Today's Music Monday stage features the renowned vocalist with a passion for the music industry. Let's welcome Monique Nikkole. Give her a big round of applause, everybody. Monique Nikkole.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung by a choir. And folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe helps to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's bringing lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is going to spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple praise to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. the child is going to spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. So I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. That means you, although it's been said many times, many ways. Merry Christmas. Ooh, to you. Play it, Michael.
Give her a big round of applause, everybody. Woo! Merry Christmas to you.
I'm ready.
Can you guys sing Jingle Bells? Ready to count 3.
Ready?
1, 2, 3. Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Jingle all the way. All right.
Monique, Nikkole, give her a big round of applause one more time. Yes,
Thank
indeed.
you.
Of course, your song is played on WBLS.
Yes, and
Yeah.
across everywhere, actually around the world.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, very happy.
and
I
you
would
were-
say yes.
Yeah, and you were on this show before.
I was.
Yeah.
Yes, when I released my first single.
Uh-huh.
That was 2015.
Yeah.
I think I was here, 16, somewhere
There you
around
go.
there. Yeah.
FM, can I move that mic or should I step over here more? Come over here. Okay, good.
All right.
And so 2015. So what's next for you?
I'm releasing my Christmas EP. That's on Thanksgiving Day. I have a mixtape that's also dropping Thanksgiving Day. That's going to be available for a free download on SoundCloud and 1RPM. And the Christmas EP is entitled Monique Nikkole Christmas. Yes.
You did it this year,
Yes.
right after Christmas last year.
Yes.
You started thinking about it and working on it.
Yes. Yes. I
Yes.
started last year. I released one single last year, Give Love on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Did very well. And I figured I might as well just do a whole collection of Christmas songs because that one did so well. So
Good.
Yes.
So where can we go to find out more about what you're doing? with us?
my
Especially-
website is MoniqueNickoleMusic.com. My IG is Monique Nikkole Music. My Facebook is Monique Nikkole Music. So I'm easy to find.
Yeah, I had to take a look at that when somebody said, "What's your IG?"
Oh, my Instagram.
No. This was a while ago.
Yes.
So what's that IG? So we learn more and more, and all that stuff is hitting the dictionary now too.
Yes.
You see words in the dictionary that you didn't see before because of our
Absolutely.
information age.
Yes.
So you are moving well.
Moving, yes. The
Yes.
mixtape is called Straight from the Crates. It's a compilation of a bunch of my DJ friends like Scratchator, DJ Ice, Cool KG, and some phenomenal artists that I'm working with that are featured. Tony Steels, Kenny Dark, Venora. Hope I'm not forgetting anyone, but that's gonna be for free, and it's like a '80s hip hop R&B fusion.
We want to check
It's
it
a lot
out.
of fun.
We want to
It's a
check it
lot
out.
of
What do you want
fun.
for Christmas?
Good health, and for my kids to be happy and
There you
healthy,
go.
and my husband to be happy and healthy. That's it.
Beautiful. Monique Nikkole, give her another big round of applause.
Thank you.
And what do you guys want for Christmas? Yeah, shout it out. What do you want? What do you want? All right, thank you so much. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. I would like to thank our guests, you, for joining us and tuning in and checking it all out. And you can watch the recablecast tonight at 5 and 10 p.m., or you can watch anytime on the web at bronxnet.org. Now you can tune in for, check it out, Wednesday. We have a new host, Darren Hyme. He does the Wednesday show of Open. Thank you very much for all of us here at BronxNet. Have a great and enjoyable day. And always remember this, what you are is God's gift to you, and what you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice and let your choice control the chooser. And remember, whether you say you can or you can't, either way, you're right. I'll catch you on the radio tonight over 107.5 WBLS. Monique Nikkole, you want to take us home with another song?
Absolutely.
Give her another big round of applause. Yeah, PS 140
you.
in the house. Happy holidays.
Something special for you.
When we met, always knew I would feel the magic for you on my mind constantly. In my arms is where you should be. I love you here by me, baby. You let my love fly free. I want you in my life for all times. Caught up in the rapture of love. Nothing else can compare. When I feel the magic of you, the feeling's always new. Tweedle-da-da-da, we stand side by side till the storms of life pass us by. Light my life, warm my heart, till tonight will be just a start. I love you here by me, baby. You let my love fly free. I want you in my life for all times. Caught up in the rapture of love. Nothing else can compare. When I feel the magic of you, the feeling's always new. I want you here by me, baby. You let my love fly free. I want you in my life for all time. Yes, baby. Nothing else can compare. Love you. Yeah, I feel the magic. It's always new. What you do. Yeah, yeah, baby. I love you, baby. Every day.
Thank you.